If you choose between pie and cake, I'm going hashtag team pie. Are you going? Which one are you?
Actually, I'm going pie on this one.
He has never agreed with me before.
Question, is cheesecake cake or pie?
Cheesecake, it has cake in the thing.
Okay.
Why would you?
I'm going team cheesecake. I disagree now. I like cheesecake more than pie.
You just switched on me? You're a flip-flopper, Jeremiah.
Love cheesecake?
Just because it's served in a pie tin, I mean, it definitely has the consistency of some pies, but it's called cake. But maybe that's just marketing, because it was called cheese pie. Because I've had cheesecake that's served in a pie tin. Like, if you're gonna choose, you've never had it before. It's on the menu, and your choice is cheese pie or cheesecake. If you're going cheesecake, see, it's gotta always disagree. It sounds more luxurious. Hello, adventurer. So in today's episode, I'm gonna talk to you more about the app that you downloaded called Aviary. The reason that you download this app is so that you can edit your photos. So when you're taking a lot of photos, this allows you to do things like crop them, adjust the contrast, which creates more drama, create some depth of field, and add effects so that your photos can be more dynamic and they get more attention. And we are loving seeing your photos. They're super creative and you're doing a great job with that, so keep that up. Well, we're gonna continue the episode and show you things how you can make slight repairs and fixes to your photos, and then how you can add things to make them more engaging. So we're gonna jump right in. So I'm gonna show you some of these features over here. Now there's some of these things over here like red eye, which if in the eyes there's that flash that has that red, you can just click on those and that fixes that. There's also things like blemish, where let's say that you have something on your skin you wouldn't want, you can use that blemish on there and it kind of blends that in. So you can kind of play with that yourself. But here's some other things that can be used to make your photo a lot more dynamic. One of the ones that I like a lot is called Splash. What it's doing now is it takes that all black and white, but this could be really effective for your photo to really stand out. So I'm gonna go to Smart Color there, and then you see that when I select where that red is in his headband, it selects just that red. But also let's say that I want his shirt. See what it's doing is it's smart picking that color. Now I could free color do it, but you see in that case what happened was it got some of his skin tone. So I'm just gonna erase that. So if you make a mistake, no big deal. But you see when I use smart color, it's going and making sure it's getting just where that blue is, and I don't have to get so, right on the edge with that. So this becomes a really cool photo because I can pick different colors on that. So I love this. This allows you to do some really cool effects there. We talked about over here, like with focus with blur, I can say, I just want to get this area and blur everything else out. Okay. So let's say I hit apply like that, but the problem is there's still some parts that I still want Logan to pop out of there. So that's where I can hit this blur tool, and I'll just increase the size here along the bottom. And you can see all this allows me to do is that when I use that blur tool, it creates like a false depth of field. So now what happens is he's really popping out of that picture, like almost he's separated from that. So that's another way to make maybe part of your image pop. And things like whiten, you can use that to whiten, teeth, but I can use it to I want to whiten his headband there. So another cool thing is we can go over to draw. So if I go over to draw here, I can select the size of what kind of my pencil would be, and I can go to the color, and this is where I can do something like basically draw. So maybe I want to do a photo where I wanted to kind of circle an area to say, hey, look at this guy in the background or something like that. And if I don't want that, I just hit that cancel button. I also can, for example, look at adding text. I can just say, here is Ninja. And that's where I can pick the font that I want. I can pick color, and I also then can adjust the size. So I can use a hashtag, or I could put my domain name, or I could do a countdown for something. Until I hit save, I can also go back and say, I don't want that anymore. Now, one of the cool things that are built in that are kind of funny about the internet is something that's called a meme. And so that is where it will automatically generate a meme for you. So sometimes people are like, well, how do you create all that? It starts to take a little bit of time, but this is built right in. So I'm gonna put that moment, and look, it's picking the kind of the font and the way memes work, right? That's just a standard format for those. So now I've created a meme. That moment, you realize you're a ninja. So you can create a meme right from there. So you see how creative I can get just from that? There's a couple of things here, frames, overlays, and stickers. So I can put kind of a standard white frame, black, there's all these different ones, like an inset frame. You can download other frames if you want to. And so I'm putting that kind of in a frame. So on this picture, I'm just gonna put kind of a standard white frame around it because I think it really adds a cool look to it. So I apply that. And then what overlays do is there's some things that you also could put in. So let's say you wanted that in a circle. Now you can't start to adjust that. These are just kind of overlays, and ultimately you can be super creative with them. I'm gonna save this photo. This was my original photo, and hey, it was a good photo. The difference is if I'm a little more creative, that photo is gonna stand out a lot more because I'm having those colors pop, I'm blurring some of the edges, I'm adding some overlay, I have a little bit of border, and so you can do some amazing things to be super creative with your photos. So the best way to learn this is by practicing. If you get a little overwhelmed, it's not a big deal. You're just going to play. And the nice thing about the app is that it doesn't require you to post any of these. So it's about practice. Remember we talked about getting your reps in? Well, you know what? You're not gonna be great at something unless you do that, unless you practice hands-on. So start editing your photos and be creative. There are no rules. Those tools are meant to unleash your creativity. Get your photos, play with them, make sure to tag us so that we can like them. Use the hashtag below and make sure that you are having a ton of fun on your adventure because it begins right now. Blueberry pie, cherry pie, lemon meringue, pumpkin. Oh, my mom makes great pumpkin pie.